What I love most about long-term care is not only working with the residents, but working with the staff. I see some of the most wonderful and talented people in long-term care that are so dedicated to the residents. It is just a profession that I don't think anybody has any appreciation for until they're actually affiliated with it in some way.
Janine has got to be the hardest working person that I've ever met, let alone nurse consultant. In one calculation, Janine had driven enough miles to cross the United States 7 times in a single year. So that gives you some idea of just the volume of travel and, site visit time that she's spending with these facilities.
I do a lot of training. I've been doing it now for over 25 years as an MDS instructor. I try to provide as much education as I can for the staff on changes in the regulations, changes in long-term care in general, on policies and procedures. And I also, just because I wanted to have a better insight into how we can mitigate risk in long-term care, I became a certified legal nurse consultant. And I've been doing that now since 2003.
There are hundreds of facilities across the country that just rely on her and know that she's a trusted source of direction and guidance and good information that's reliable. And also her approachable manner, where she's very professional, but also has a great sense of humor. And it's a great blend that warmth and competence really comes through.
I feel very, very honored. I feel very blessed in being able to do what I do. And I hope that others can see by my winning this award that there's so many different ways that you can influence and impact others. So there's always opportunities to help people improve, to help them understand, and to help make their life easier. And that's what my goal is.
She's coming up on her 45th year in long-term care. Just a neat opportunity to recognize her and the value that she's brought to the industry.
I am the MDS coordinator. I go by the assessment lady is what my residents call me. I monitor the residents, I review their charts, I interview them, and I complete assessments that pretty much tell their story. And that's what we use for insurance reimbursement. That guides our quality measures. I'm telling the story of our residents.
Chelsea fit the criteria for the Shining Star Award because there's no one that has more of a heart and a passion for long-term care patients and residents than Chelsea.
We're telling their story. We're advocating for better care for them. We're advocating for giving them the best possible life in their later years. We're making sure they have everything that they deserve.
Chelsea is looked upon for not only her wisdom, but for her sense of humor and her ability to get involved with just about anything. Chelsea wants everyone around her just to be the very best that they can possibly be.
I'm surrounded by so many good things here. My team, my coworkers, the residents. I don't think I would be who I am without the setting I'm in, without the people I work with on a daily basis. We're doing something right here.
I'm a second-generation healthcare provider. My mother was a RN director of nursing, and we all were all taught that at one point. All of my sisters and I worked with my mother in a facility at different times. We just grew up in long-term care, and it is something that I'm proud of. We have to do what we need to do to care for our residents and their families, as well as our staff.
She's incredibly humble. Even when I told her that I had nominated her for the award, I said, I feel, even if you win it or not, I feel like you are the most deserving person. And she couldn't believe it. Like, she was like, are you kidding me? Yes. And like, Leah, you embody every characteristic that they are looking at, anything. She will literally roll up her sleeves and do anything.
I love being able to go out and help new people coming into healthcare. I feel like I've been doing this for many years, and it's nice to see younger people coming in and wanting to grow in the field. So now I'm in a corporate role the last few years, and it's been amazing to be able to make changes and see the changes across the continuum since pre-OBRA.
I would put Leah in my 31-year career in the top 1% of any nurse, let alone employee, that I've ever worked with.
I want to be a service leader. I want to ensure people are taken care of. I want to be that advocate. I want us to continue to be able to provide the level of care, the compassion and empathy. And this company has allowed me to do that. And AAPACN has been a great resource. Yeah, it's just amazing.
I actually oversee anything and everything related to clinical reimbursement, Medicare, managed care, CMI, and denials management. I always describe my job as putting pieces of a puzzle together. We collaborate with social services and the business office, rehab. We touch everybody. In today's industry, the MDS department, clinical reimbursement, I think people don't know what we do. They think that, oh, you're doing an MDS and that you're just doing an MDS. And honestly, completing the MDS is just a very small piece of the puzzle of what we do. So seeing all the different ways that we collaborate and use technology to work and support our centers and to be acknowledged for that is just awesome. I really believe we have to have consistent processes across all 42 of our centers, but really awesome people to run those processes. In long-term care, we have to know every system. We're not specialized to one thing or another. We have to know the whole system. It's hard work, it's grueling, but I think that we are a special breed. You don't stand a chance if you don't embrace technology. And I consider myself so very blessed. When I came here, this department only had 5 or 6 people in the clinical reimbursement department. I now have about 30 people in the regional support team. I take pride in it. I think it's a very special award. You know, there are a few winners, so that's awesome. But I think there's something to be said for that. We're moving into the future. We're not in the old and dark ages, so come join us.
Teresa asked me to be the MDS care plan coordinator, and I have fallen in love with it. It gives me a time to really bond with the patients. I get to know more about them than just, say, somebody on the floor going in and doing their ADLs or passing medications. I'm actually learning what it is that meets their needs. What can I do to make sure that your stay here is like home or a home-like environment? It's a more intimate relationship that I get to have with the patients.
We deal with our residents, the elderly population, and a lot of the people that are in our nursing facilities don't have a lot of family, and their family is us. So Kim would go out there and just love them, just talk to them, spend time with them, you know, just let them know she cares about them. To actually have a person come in and show you some positive attention, and she does that.
It is a job that you have to love. If you come in every day and you like being here, you love to interact with your patients, you love getting to know that this is somebody you're going to develop a relationship with. And when you come into long-term care, you either love it or you hate it. And if it's somewhere you don't want to be, don't stay. You can blossom somewhere else. But if you feel that connection, if you love it, long-term care can be the absolute best.
She just goes out there with a smile and does whatever needs to be done. She does it with a smile.
To my colleagues in general, I couldn't do it without you, and they know that. I cannot do this job without you. They have become my family, but Teresa especially. She has a special place in my heart. She always has, and she knows that. I know that I would not be where I am if she hasn't pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to go back to school and do more. And she's more than a friend. She's my family, and I love her. And I'm touched that, you know, I was able to win the award, to be able to be recognized. It's sometimes I don't feel like I deserve it, but I am truly blessed.
I am extremely proud of you. Absolutely. You have worked hard. You have not backed down from any challenge. You have made it a point to be the best. And she is.